Alright, Mr.Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? Man, look, this might be the biggest highlight we've done so far in the NBA playoffs. So many storylines developed. It's tied at 2, ladies and gentlemen. The Houston Rockets are back in Golden State after gaining some momentum at home in Houston, winning both those basketball games. They come home with an opportunity to take a 3-2 lead over the defending NBA champion Golden State Warriors. And if you're the Warriors, you're right where you expected to be, with home court advantage, with 2 out of 3 games left. Houston, Golden State. Game 5, a lot's at stake. Let's get into the highlight. It is a crazy one. Get ready. Out the gate, Warriors up a point. James Harden, wheeling, dealing, and drilling a 3 over Draymond Green. Houston goes up 2. Warriors would go on a crazy run. It was led by Klay Thompson, who drilled a 3. He'd been struggling as of late. Okay, 1-3. It's cool to see Klay Thompson make a shot. He was not done yet. Draymond Green to Klay Thompson. Another 3. It's 20-14. The Warriors are up now. And Klay Thompson is feeling it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see KD go for 2 here. We're going to see a big play on the other end. The Warriors feeling it as a team. As Durant, nice pass from Steph Curry, dunks it home. It's 38-27. Back to Klay Thompson, feeling it. Rockets down 13. How will they respond? You know they're going to make a run. Harden, kicking, stepping back, drilling a 3. It's a 10-point game now. Rockets continue to make that run. They get into that lead quickly. Harden bulldozing his way right into Draymond Green for 2. All of a sudden, the Rockets go on a 12-0 run. They get it down to 3. Other end, Kevin Durant drills a 3. And now, the other MVP on this team, Steph Curry, drills a 3. It's right back up to 13 points. Again, Rockets trying to maintain some signs of momentum before the locker room. The Warriors wouldn't give it up, though. Great pass from Draymond to Steph Curry, who goes and one with the beautiful lay-in over Austin Rivers. It's a 15-point game now. Kevin Durant getting a look for 3. If you're the Rockets, you just want to have this lead somewhere where you feel like you could come back. It'll get down to 14 going into the locker room, and out the locker room, James Harden was balling. That pass to PJ Tucker for 3. Now Harden, again, a pass into PJ Tucker, this time on the inside for 2, not looking. Beautiful ball from Harden here in the 3rd. The Rockets are down 9. Harden with the mismatch Looney on him. Floater in the lane. He can be used as a flotation device when need be. It's a 7-point game. Rockets still making their run. This time it's Harden stepping back, jab step, drilling a 3 over Draymond Green. Get it down to 1. And this is the play that everybody be talking about, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give more context about this, of course, after the highlight. But if you look at Kevin Durant as he drills that 2 with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, immediately something is wrong. Now, what that something is, still a tad bit uncertain. But as of right now, according to Woj of ESPN, it's not an Achilles injury officially. It's a calf injury. As you see, he makes that jumper. I'm going to give you a couple angles at this thing. As he makes that jumper, he looks back like somebody kicked him. Now, we've heard a lot of stories in the past of guys feeling that same type of feeling. Like, yo, did somebody just kick me in my calf? Like, or kick me in my leg? Nobody kicked him. Those non-contact injuries are always scary. Kevin Durant would not return in the basketball game. He finished with 22 points. We'll talk more about KD, like I said, after the highlight. Let's keep it moving here. It's a 1-point game in the 4th quarter. Iman Shumpert, nice ball fake. He gets Draymond up in the air, and the 3 rolls in. The Warriors are up 2. With 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go, Draymond looking. Can this Warriors team take it back to their roots? No DeMarcus Cousins, no Kevin Durant. All we got is what we had in the beginning. Klay, Steph, and Draymond would step up as Klay drills that 2 off balance. Now Steph with Clint Capella on him. Doesn't matter. He drills the 3. This is old Warriors basketball before they added them other 2 All-Stars. Other end with the Rockets down 4. Eric Gordon drills a 3. Gets it down to a 1-point game. It's a 2-point game with 3:25 to go. It's Klay to Draymond, who was upset about a call on the previous possession. He's fired up as he drills that 3. The Warriors go up 5 with 3:15 to go. I mean, he's all fired up in Golden State. Same score. Rockets need a stop. They don't get the rebound. Klay Thompson is open for 3. Just like that, it's an 8-point game, and this game is slipping away from the Houston Rockets, who blew a huge opportunity with Kevin Durant missing over a quarter of basketball. Chris Paul trying to make a lay-in. That Warriors defense was just too good down the stretch. 1-on-1 95. Harden to go quick 2 to Capella. Probably the time that you want Harden to take one of those threes. He opted to not take one. He was not aggressive down the stretch. You'll see him score a lay-in there. He only took a handful of shots. And the fourth, this is the last play that everybody's talking about as well. Loose ball. The Warriors just wanted it that much more, and they will win this game. Final score, 104-99. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. We got so much to get into. I just wanted to read you a couple stats real quick. Steph Curry finished with 25. Did struggle from the field, 9 for 23. But he had 12 points in the fourth quarter. He was phenomenal in the fourth quarter. Klay Thompson did a lot of his early, but made a couple big baskets late. You just saw that three-pointer to put his team up 8 with a little bit over 2 minutes to go. He finished with 27. I told you guys Durant had 22. Draymond Green had 8 points, but he gave me 12 rebounds and 11 assists. Big play from Draymond Green down the stretch as well. And Looney, I want to give a little bit of love to Looney of the Warriors. Unsung hero. Only gave me 5 points, but gave me 9 rebounds, some pivotal clutch plays defensively, some hustle plays. He was the one that tracked down that loose ball over in the corner there, that last play of the game. And the Golden State Warriors are now in the driver's seat. They go up 3-2. 2 games to close it out. Could either do it in Houston or in a Game 7, I believe Sunday, on their home floor against the Houston Rockets. Whew. Let's get to some of these storylines. Let's unpack a little bit of this. Let's state the obvious in the room. Kevin Durant. Again, I told you guys that in the middle of the highlight. According to Woj of ESPN, the biggest basketball reporter out there, the Rockets have already ruled out an Achilles injury. Just for those who don't really dive deep in the medical field, that's a good thing. No Achilles injury means we're not talking about something that will venture off until deep into the summer, which could affect this man's livelihood. And I want to say this real quick before we get back into Durant's injury. Look, I know you might not root for Golden State. I know it's either hit or miss. Either you love the Warriors or you hate them, right? I get it. But no one wants to see Durant. If you're a real fan of the game of basketball and what Kevin Durant has given the game, you don't want to see the Rockets win like that. You don't want that man, and even if you don't want him to play in the rest of the series, you don't want to see him deal with an Achilles injury. Nobody who, if you really love the game, you don't want to see that. I love Durant, watching him play the game of basketball. I'm not rooting for the Warriors, but I don't want to see that. I don't wish an Achilles injury on my worst enemy. Thank God it's not that. According to Woj, the team has confirmed that it is a calf injury. I actually thought during the game, because it was reported like in the fourth quarter that it was a calf injury, I thought the Warriors were trying to throw up some smoke screens. Obviously, with DeMarcus Cousins on their roster and his Achilles injuries, I know he did that with the Pelicans, but obviously with him battling back from Achilles injury, I thought the Warriors intentionally put it out in the atmosphere that it was a calf injury to try to at least get through that game. They didn't want that on the minds of Steph, Klay, and Draymond, because once you hit a word Achilles, the season is pretty much over no matter what, right? I thought they were trying to put that in the atmosphere, but according to Woj, it's not just a smoke and mirror. It is a calf injury, which is a good sign. Worst case scenario, and I'm talking about the worst case scenario, he could miss the remainder of the playoffs. And with a guy that's about to head into free agency and has had some calf problems in the past, some lower leg injury problems in the past, that's a good sign. Best case scenario, he'd be ready to go next game. If it's just a minor strain. It didn't seem like it was a minor strain. It looks like something that probably will keep him out. Here's my guess. It probably will keep him out the remainder of this series against the Rockets, and maybe he's ready to go versus the Nuggets or Trailblazers, depending on who gets to the next round. If the Warriors get to the next round, that's just my opinion. I don't know. Shoot, the Warriors just won a game down the stretch. I think they're more than equipped to win a game. I look at this Rockets-Warriors series as now even. Remove Kevin Durant from the situation, I think it's an even series now. Like, I was the guy who believed that LeBron, Kevin Love, and Kyrie versus Draymond, Steph, and Klay was an even matchup. Now, we never got that matchup. Obviously, Kevin Love and Kyrie were injured in year one. And we did get it the second time around, and then the Cavs won that one, right? So, whenever we've had that matchup straightened down, I think the Cavs are a little bit better. But in regards to Houston, I think James Harden and Chris Paul got to figure this one out. If you believe that the Warriors have 3 out of the 4 best players on the court, between Harden, Steph, Clay, and Draymond without KD in the mix, I'll give you that. Whatever order you want to put it in. But after that, you got to believe with the Warriors bench struggling this year that the Rockets could arguably have the next 4 or 5 best players on the court. There are no excuses for the Houston Rockets. You got to figure this one out. This is a disappointing loss of extreme proportions. And I don't want to give anyone else more blame than the other. Between James Harden and Chris Paul, y'all got to figure that out. What the hell is Chris Paul doing on the basketball court in 2019? This is not the guy that I seen 5 years ago. This is not the guy that I seen with the Clippers. This is not the player that I seen last year. Something is off with Chris Paul. And he missed so many games in the regular season, we probably didn't pay enough attention to it. But this dude, it looks like he is scared to play on that hamstring at the level that he used to play. I don't know if he's thinking about that injury that happened against the Warriors last year. I don't know what he's thinking about. He is not attacking the rim. He's deferring to James Harden and Tyler too much. Somebody needs to wake up Chris Paul and let him know that last time I checked, he was supposed to be the point guard of that team, the primary ball handler. It was cool when he first got to Houston 2 years ago, when it was you do you, I do me. We go 50-50 with the basketball. It is 75-85% Harden got the rock, dribble. And Chris Paul might get it 5%, 10% of the time. As a matter of fact, Chris Paul is at his most effectiveness when James Harden is not on the basketball court. It should not be that way when you got an MVP on your team. When you got one of the quote-unquote best point guards of all time. I am extremely disappointed in the Houston Rockets. You got to figure out a way to win that game. And I ain't letting them off the hook. If Kevin Durant does not play in the next 2 games, you got to figure this out. It is the exact same setup. What happened to the Houston Rockets last year, literally the exact same setup. Think about it. Last year in Game 5, the Rockets had home court. They were the higher seed. They win Game 5, but at the end of the game, you lose Chris Paul to a hamstring injury. You go up 3-2, but you go on to lose Game 6 on the road in Golden State, and you lose Game 7 at home. You miss 27 straight three-pointers. Look at the setup right now. The Warriors, this time they got home court. They win Game 5, but likely lose Kevin Durant for at least the series. Now, the Warriors are up 3-2. They're going to Houston for Game 6, and they'll have Game 7 on their home court. Houston, y'all got to figure this one out. It's the exact same scenario what happened to Chris Paul and the Rockets last year. Karma finally hit the Warriors. They lose their guy, most likely, at least for the series. Y'all got to figure this out and win this game. I'm disappointed in James Harden and Chris Paul. And I didn't even get into Harden, really. Harden, you go 3 for 14 all these damn basketball games from the three-point line. Now out of all of a sudden, now you decide to stop shooting the basketball? What? Out of any point in your life, Harden has been a guy that has never been worried about taking shots. Him, Westbrook, a couple other guys around the league, they love to shoot the basketball. Kyrie, throw them in that mix. If anything else, they love to get their shots up. They're the kings of going 9 for 28 from the field. All of a sudden, Harden has become the most efficient basketball player on the planet. Seriously, like, what did Harden go 10 for 16 tonight? Like, look, Harden goes 10 for 16. I swear to you, these are the 4 most efficient games I've ever seen from James Harden. Ever since that eye injury, remember, he injures the eye in Game 2, Draymond pokes him in the eye. He comes back, the Rockets lose the game, but Harden, for the most part, shot the ball well. Game 3, shot the ball well, or better than he usually does. Game 4, shot the ball better than he usually does. In Game 5, the brother goes 10 for 16 from the field. Not aggressive in the fourth quarter. Only gets up a handful of shots. If there were ever a game where I wanted James Harden to be the inefficient version of himself and to get up 20 shots, is when the Warriors lose Kevin Durant, a guy who was guarding James Harden a lot, might I add. Draymond Green fouls out at the end of the game. We didn't show that, but he fouled out. If ever a game I want James Harden to be the guy that gets up 10 to 15 shots in a quarter, it's this game with Kevin Durant and Draymond Green out of the game down the stretch. When you got Klay Thompson having to work offensively. See, usually the Warriors don't need Klay Thompson to get you 30. Tonight they needed him to be the scorer, especially in the fourth when you already had lost Kevin Durant and then you lose Draymond. If ever a time for Harden to get some great looks with Klay Thompson tired, the Warriors had to go deep into their bench, They had to bring in Looney. They had to bring in Livingston. And you were playing Iguodala big minutes. If ever a time for Harden to get his shots up, it was this game. And now all of a sudden he don't want to shoot the damn basketball. I am sick to my stomach like Joel Embiid. I feel like I got the flu 2 times like Embiid. I don't know what the hell happened to Harden. I don't know what the hell happened to Chris Paul. But they just blew one of the biggest opportunities in NBA history to go up 3-2 and take it back to Houston on your home court in Game 6 to close that thing out to finally get over the hurdle of the Golden State Warriors, and you blow that with Kevin Durant in the locker room? 104-99, the Warriors go up 3-2, and I am out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yeah, we locked in right now,
Mr.Taliaferro.
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 Shout out to Mr.Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr.Taliaferro TV.
Mr.Taliaferro TV. Here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.